Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. So last time we actually managed to get ourselves a couple of quest starting items that I failed to notice. So I've managed to get those out of my bags now. So we've got three different items. We've got attack orders, which I believe came from the goblins slightly to the rest of the encampment, where we were trying to rescue the messenger over near these hills over here. We got a warhound's collar, which is just from killing the hounds that are kind of in the general vicinity north and east of Forthbrond. And we have an orc scimitar, which would have dropped off of the guys over at the cave mouth over here at the Pit of Iron. So if we just interact with these, we'll have some quests. And they're basically going to be notifying us that we need to go speak to someone at Forthbrond because we've found something of interest. So this one then. This hastily scribbled note details instructions for the goblins. Take the western passage to the crag, then turn north and follow the narrow passage. At the end of the passage is a small cave opening. Wait for a messenger of Rohan to pass near the cave opening. Capture him and take anything he carries. So luckily we managed to stop that from happening. Although the guy's fellows did end up brutally murdered. But we have to take this back to Ardwin in Forthbrond, as one of the NPCs we've already spoken to. The Warhound's collar. This collar was taken from a slain hound in the Heathfells. Crafted of heavy leather, studded with crude iron, it is clearly of Dunlanding make. The Dunlanding houndmasters leash their beasts upon such collars, and if these dogs wear them, then their masters cannot be far away. Perhaps you can defeat him and scatter his hounds. So this one we're going to have to kill the houndmaster, which hopefully there's no one around questing because they might have killed him and I might have to wait for a respawn. And then the last quest. This blade was taken from a fallen orc in the Heathfells. While forged in the usual crude and utilitarian manner of the orcs, it appears to be almost brand new. Somewhere nearby must be a cave or encampment where these particular orcs are forging weapons. If you can find it, you should be able to tell the Rohirrim of its presence so that they can take action against them. So yeah, the orc cave is not the Pit of Iron itself, it is one different one up in the hills. So we have to do those two quests. So let's just lock these two then. And then we'll get those complete and then we'll head back in to do the hand-ins afterwards. So, hello. Die, fool! Do you mind? I don't even want to get involved with you, but whatever. So do you actually have to hand in... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm seeing the hounds and the houndmaster. I'm getting confused. So, houndmaster... There he is. He's slightly east. I thought he was more over here, but no, he's further east along here. And the Orc Cave is up on the highest point of the hill, basically, not as far east as the Pit of Iron. It's on the highest point. So let's wander over. So the Houndmaster, I think he's like by this rock over here, or is it a bit further along? Might be over the ridge. But he should have his back to a bit of wall anyway. And I'm not sure if he spawns in when we get near, or we might be there already. But he should have a couple of hounds near him as well. We can just murder them. There we go. There he is. So he's not in combat, but his hounds are. So we need to murder, murder, murder. And I think as soon as we kill these two hounds, he's going to get very upset about it and try and kill us. So there go. One dead. Second one dead. For Saruman! So he's a 17k mob. So if you are a bit squishy, you might want to be a bit careful. Otherwise he shouldn't pose too much of a threat on his own. Unless of course you've been taken pretty low by the dogs beforehand, so just watch out. Pay attention to your health bar, unlike me. Darkness take you. You have defeated the Houndmaster. So now we need to talk to Cadfrith, who is the commander at Forthbrond. So mount back up. Carry on heading east. We basically want to stay as high up the hill as we can. And we'll find the Orc Cave, so let's try and avoid these people. So yeah, if you haven't been watching my other videos this week, it has been pretty busy actually. I've got a lot of videos, and in some cases the last couple of days I've had 2 videos come out. Because there's been a lot going on. There's been all the news about the new Lord of the Rings based MMO. If you guys haven't watched my video on that, it is an interesting read, even if I am shamelessly plugging myself. This is the cave we're looking for. But there's also been another channel update that I've done on the channel. just to talk you guys through the various things that have happened during the week off that I had, that I was doing a load of YouTube recording. But yeah, there's some interesting things to come, and I'm probably going to sit down and actually do some lore videos. I might script some like lore videos talking about some certain characters and stuff in the lore. So, you know, maybe do like a history of Denethor II, the current ruling steward of Gondor. I say current, he's not current anymore at this point we are in the game, but spoilers. So anyway, so we found this dwarf here. He did say something a minute ago. Aye, down there, could you give me a hand here? So, yeah, random dwarf in the middle of nowhere. As if you aren't a sight for sore eyes. I have seen naught but orcs for days now. A band of them struck my father's caravan a few days north of here. We were minding our own business, and this rabble fell upon us without warning. Well, we fought them off, of course, but my father died in the battle. He seems pretty upbeat about it, to be fair. The rest of our caravan returned south to Zigil Jabal. Where is that? I don't know. I don't know if that's actually ever been fleshed out in the game since. But I swore an oath of vengeance against them. I don't suppose you could lend me some aid here. So we're going to have a quest here where we're going to have to help him collapse the cave, which basically is going to be a little quest instance. And basically we have to survive. Hey there, my good elf. I don't suppose you'd be up for a quick bit of sport. This cave is packed full of orcs, and I see no reason to leave it as is. It is better to seal the lot of them in the dark below. But you're a dwarf, you like being in the dark below. There could be riches, who knows. I have found a weak point in the rock here that should bring it down, but it would take a few minutes and make a whole lot of noise, so I could use a hand holding the orcs off until I can bring it down. So, accept this, we can travel. When I start swinging the pick, the orcs are likely to come running, so let me know when you are ready.
Ondor the dwarf seeks to collapse the tunnels from which the orcs waylay the innocent, avenging the death of his father and sealing the doom of his foes.
So speak to him. Well met. Alright, here we go. Keep an eye on that cave, and if any orcs come running, well, you know what to do. Alright, I'm ready. God, you're speaking too fast, mate. I'm ready to bring this thing down, but there's gonna be an awful racket. Those orcs are gonna come running, and I need you to hold them off for a minute or two. Here goes. So he'll just be digging around. Orcs will come running out of the cave and they'll come and attack us. It's best to stay up on this hill, really. Particularly if you're a squishy class. It buys you a bit of time between when they spawn and when they actually arrive at you. And I can't remember if there's any archers, but if there are some archers, then you can play around with line of sight a bit to kind of block their line of sight. You can just like hide, whoops, over here, and then they have to come up the top to actually shoot you and stuff. So it's easy enough to top yourself up. Here comes another one. As you can see, it's taken him, you know, a good 5 seconds at the very least to run up the hill before he even aggroes on me. I mean, it's up to you. You could always go down there and just kill them as soon as they spawn. It's still going to take the same amount of time to complete the instance. You're not exactly going to make things go any faster. Uh-oh. Listen here, Pendulous. This is going to take a little longer than I thought. So we've still got 2 melee guys, but we've now got an orc guard as well. What's this buff you've got on you, sir? He will use skills that impair its foes. Interesting. Don't know what that will imply. I cannot dig while I'm fighting. Give me a hand here. So things can hit him. I don't think he's done too much. He's not going to die with 39,000 morale, but maybe it will slow you down a little bit for instance completion if he's got to dig for 2 minutes straight or whatever. So I'm surprised he actually managed to get past me with my AoE, to be honest, but maybe they just got too close to him. They didn't actually hit him or anything. Hold him off a little longer. I didn't care how. I don't know if he's meant to be like a Scottish dwarf or something. Just run around in circles or something. Ah, he's a big un, isn't he? Well, here it goes. So here we go. We've got the boss one come out now. Rung. Oh, Jesus. He's got 40k. So I think we can kill the other one and eventually Ondor will help us with this guy. Because this is a big chappy. There we go. That's done. Now for your little friend there. So if you are really squishy and you don't want to be tanking this thing, you could just try not hit it. Let Ondor eventually join the fray. And then he'll get aggro on it pretty easy. He'll be able to tank it fairly straightforward. And then you can just slowly DPS it in the backside if you're really struggling. But he's not hitting too hard at the very least. There we go. Ondor has collapsed the cave entrance. Ha! That's one more for the old dwarf. Back to work. We're going back to work. We've really collapsed it. Look, you can even see that we've collapsed the rocks. Oh well. He's a dwarf and he loves digging holes.
What do you need?
Well, I suppose that's the last of the orcs. It will take them weeks to dig out that mess, lazy curs. If there were dwarves trapped in there, they'd be out in a day. There we go. Complete that. It's been a pleasure working with you, Pendulous. He just fell out the sky then.
At your service and your families.
There we go. And a job well done, if I do say so myself. I don't know. I'm kind of going at all kinds of accents with this dwarf knight. It's kind of a bit Scottish in places, a bit Welsh in places. Ondor is my name, by the way. I followed a raiding party for 3 days, and until they disappeared in here. After they smashed my family's caravan and killed my father, of course. The rest of the family is headed back to south to find refuge in Zigil Jabal, but I swore to hunt down the ones that did for my father. I cannot tell one orc from another, so now I am left trying to deal with the whole lot of them. It looks like it could be a while. Well, no sense staying here. There is much to do. Perhaps I will see you about if we are both lucky. I think that's the last we see of him, isn't it? So we've got some gloves. Nothing too fancy. Just a leather set of gloves. Helm that we've seen before. And obviously a ring that doesn't have any cosmetics. So there we go. This is just like a very short quest line. Just dealing with that. So now we need to head back to Forthbrond. And I think I will cut away and just ride back there. And then we'll hand in all these quests. Okay, so we're back then at Forthbrond. We're going to talk to Ardwin first with all the hand-ins he's going to have. So, a word deterred.
Our hope lies in strength, but the servants of the enemy are everywhere.
The messages that Cadfaun bore were of import, but this edict from Edoras was the word that we sought. It shall be known amongst the captains. Thank you for bringing us this news. Some reputation as well. I should mention as well that the reputation for all the quests in the Gap of Rohan is for the Phaedrid's Riders faction. Whereas a lot of the quests we've done previously in Dunland for pretty much all the Dunlanding NPCs would have been for the Men of Dunland faction. So there are reputation guys in Galtrev in the same spot just south of the main centre circle where you can do bartering for bits and pieces for both of these factions. Since these were the two factions of the expansion. So debts and actors.
Hope we will find aid in time.
Thank you for returning the belongings of our fallen kinsmen. We are in your debt for your help. It is strange that the goblins are so bold as to attack our patrols and scouts. They shall pay for it with their blood. I promise that.
Time is short. So is hope.
This note disturbs me greatly, for it is written in the hand and tongue of men. I fear that one of our allies has fallen under the influence of our enemies.
Our hope lies in strength, but the servants of the enemy are everywhere.
Thank you for lending Cadfaun your aid. With the entrance to the Goblin Cave collapsed, it should be some time before they are able to attack any more of our patrols or messengers. So what have we got here? We've got a ring, we've got an earring, and we've got a bracelet. They're going to be alrightish if you haven't got particularly amazing gear, but if you've got higher quality gear, it's probably going to be better than any of this stuff. So he has 3 follow-up quests, but the other thing as well is that the Houndmaster we killed a bit earlier also dropped another quest starting item, so Deadly Missive. So we should probably have a look at this. The message you found upon the Houndmaster speaks of a Rohirrim herald who is travelling to parley with a Dunlanding Brennan. The Houndmaster has been instructed to waylay and kill the herald before he arrives at the meeting. While the Houndmaster has been defeated, it appears that his allies have already departed to hunt down the herald. You should find the meeting place and rescue the herald before the trap is sprung. So that is a quest we need to do. Then the 3 quests that Ardwin's giving us next.
Minions of Orthanc. are growing stronger in these lands.
After speaking with the leader of our patrol, I learned that they ranged further south than usual. It is possible that the Dunlendings attacked because we had encroached openly upon their land, though I have my doubts. Perhaps you would patrol the valley to the west for me. I have the feeling that there is more to this attack than we understand. So this is questing to the west of where we are now. Some of the quests will still take us east in the direction we've already been. Second one.
Minions of Orthonk are growing stronger in these lands.
Long and often have we sent patrols into the hills and valleys of the Isendale, and usually without incident. However, recently one of our patrols was attacked by a party of Dunlendings. We have ever been at odds with the men of Dunland, but rarely in open conflict, at least in recent years. Now the Dunlendings have become violently hostile towards our people. Will you find the party of Dunlendings that attacked our patrol and bring them to justice? Begin your search in the valley west of here. So again, the quest that he's going to give us are all going to be to the west, so let's just put those on the tracker.
We stride into a danger that we cannot hope to overcome.
Over the past week, several of our patrols have been attacked while scouting the valley to the west. Recently, one of the patrols has vanished, and we fear the worst. I have been informed that the Dunlendings have apparently left blood-soaked items belonging to the patrol along a path as warning. It is shameful that those who made the reports failed to retrieve their kindred's belongings. Would you seek out these items and bring them back here, so that they may be used to honour our fallen? The path the patrol walked upon lies in the valley to the west. So we can do all of those together. And then if we come over here to Cadfrith, who's the other NPC that was giving us quests the last time we were here. So we've got 3 hand-ins for him as well.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
So, the orcs are indeed coming down out of the mountains, and in significant numbers. These had best be wandering bands of raiders, and nothing more. If they are allied with the Dunlendings, our hold on Dol Bran is as good as lost. So, Dol Bran is the great big hill over here, in this ring of heather. Houndmaster?
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
So, one of the Dunlending barbarians crept behind our lines to guide the hounds against us. Well done discovering his hiding place and dealing with him. That should scatter his packs for good.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Those beasts have been hounding us for days now. I'm glad you were able to drive some of them off. Now we need to get word through to the Ford about the Dunlending's increasing presence in the Isendale. So he doesn't have any follow-up quests. So we're going to be just popping outside then. So we're going to be questing pretty much westwards. It's going to be kind of along this road. So in this kind of triangle of rings we've got here, that's generally the area we're going to be in. Obviously we could kill Dunlendings anywhere in the Isendale. It's going to count towards our quests, but there's no point going all the way over to the western sides. Whereas the messenger that we need to seek out is over in the east, pretty much halfway towards Grimbold's camp on the northeast of the hill of Dol Bran. So I think we'll probably stop the episode there then. That's probably getting about right. And next episode we'll head west and quest outside in the Isendale. So until then, see you guys next time.